आप एक कैरेक्टर प्ले नहीं कर रहे हैं, यू आर नॉट प्लेइंग
असलियत नहीं है
रॉकी,
ऐसा।
यू आर आयुष्मान। आप ऐसे नहीं हैं क्या? किसको बेवकूफ़ बना रहे हैं?
मैं बेवकूफ़ असली में सीरियसली ऐसा हूँ, मुझे पता है मैं कैसा हूँ।
If you thought we were edgy on television, you ain't seen nothing yet.
I was like full turn off.
As a preteen before the internet revolution of YouTube, I would find myself aimlessly watching music channels. While this initially was about VJs sharing their favorite playlists or even talking about fan requests, it was catered towards a relatable VJ hosting the show and talking about everything related to pop culture and the music industry. The music channels slowly transitioned their content towards reality TV, and this revolution that started in the early 2000s has not slowed down even today. I consumed this brainless content, a hit of addictive but harmful dopamine, not understanding how hours of swearing and the ridicule to common folk might be inadvertently affecting me. A show that went from being about an eccentric group of people traveling in India, shot guerrilla style to lend authenticity, to eventually become Fear Factor, just more crass and louder. The show transitioned from something cool to eventually being catered towards the lowest common denominator of what could be aspirational. On national television, select judges could take the moral high ground and categorically bully, judge, and ridicule contestants for the pleasure of TRP. The auditions brought me flashbacks to boarding school, where if we were lectured by seniors, we could not debate or do a back and forth, even if they were clearly wrong in the argument, simply because of their seniority. I generally don't blame the contestants for seeing this as a foot inside the entertainment industry. Barring the examples like Ranvijay, Bani, and Ayushmann Khurrana, they constitute less than 1% of the people who transition seamlessly to actively work and create a niche for themselves in the entertainment industry. As I have a few friends who have taken the reality TV route, there is a lack of structure that often we see after these shows, which makes for individuals to basically figure it out, depending on the relationships they develop through the show and whether they are marketable enough. I get many arguments that the success of the show is a big slap on the face of the haters, to which I have to say that if the majority watch a particular thing, it doesn't necessarily equate it to being amazing content. Roadies reminds me of the Houseful franchise. Year after year, the installments keep on increasing. They rake in huge numbers, one in the form of TRP and the other in the form of box office. And as the installments increase, it gets more bizarre, loud, crass, and even obnoxious. Then came a time where Raghu and Rajiv had left the show, which made me wonder what could be the foreseeable future ahead, where both individuals did attempt acting, and honestly in some films Raghu was actually convincing and did a commendable job. It was their take as producers or creators that really intrigued me on what could lie ahead. Raghu in a media interaction had said that people started considering him and his brother as being the roadies people, having a loud, obnoxious, on-air personality. Also going on to further say that the auditions are atrocious. I don't even have words for it. They are mind-numbing. Irrespective of the weirdly tone-deaf comments, they genuinely believed they could present something fresh as creatives. And in came Skulls and Roses, a show where Raghu and Rajiv redefine their roadies image. Except that it's just the same show with the same problems, a combination of Splitsvilla and Fear Factor, and there's nothing new to offer. Just a higher definition reality show that could have easily aired on MTV. My point is, while nothing has changed, I should not judge a book by its cover, right? I'd actually explore the show. What I subjected myself to made me wonder how Amazon Prime Video picked up the show. Anyway, I guess eyeballs trump over whether the content is good or not. Here we go. The show is described from the onset as hot single girls with young willing boys and raging hormones. The show provides contrast where Rose Island is where love blossoms, Skull Island is where the contestants get mercilessly tortured. When the first dialogue of a contestant after looking at the girls is "Oh ho ho, kya nazare," you get a glimpse of the train wreck ahead. The problem is that even from a reality show point of view, even if I was convinced of the show and its content, the format itself is entirely scripted and set up. Cinematic shots of contestants being chained up while food is thrown in front of them. The premise is set for the individuals to interact with one another. Barring the content, there isn't, from a production standpoint, even a form of realism. There are some beautiful quotes that you will find throughout the series. As Rajiv introduces the first task, he says, "मैं तुम्हारे लिए Cupid लिमिट से बहुत ज्यादा हूँ, लेकिन वायाग्रा से थोड़ा कम. One of the contestants, as he sees things heating up, he says, I was going through multi-sexual feelings. While the party starts, a poor guy named Sahil, who is a heavier dude and isn't as chiseled as the other contestants, is constantly fat-shamed. From a girl saying, I was like full turn-off, to family pack, and one girl stating, I was like, dobara shirt pehan le, dude, it was ugly. This contestant, by the way, beats everyone in the physical task. But before that, all of the contestants shame him by saying, 90 kilo ka sand, ye mota kya kar lega. I mean, I understand that everyone has their preferences, but to make a point to call out what according to them is undesirable really does showcase the point the series wants to make. The reason I say this is because the creators invoke squabbles in the show. In one instance, telling contestants whoever insults their partner will get rewarded. There are two aspects that will definitely be clear to you as a viewer as well. One, that you can easily play a drinking game in this show to take a shot every time a contestant says truth. It is a recurring theme. If in sentences I pause and say fillers like, like, you know, it's for contestants here. Number two, you will definitely notice that it is meant for cheap thrills visually. The show doesn't really flatteringly shoot the contestants in their swimwear and is just catered towards showcasing the goods, if you know what I mean. There is one point in their chemistry test while a man is visibly uncomfortable, the girl forces a kiss. And these are followed by problematic lines like, मैं तो मजे ले रही थी, उसे तो पता भी नहीं चला. In one episode, as a chemistry test is taking place, contestants have to sit across one another and make noises of having orgasms, and the contestants decide who was the best performer. While the dirty talk and the task itself was cringy enough, there is one contestant who is uncomfortable to participate in the task. While the show creators are respectful of this decision, the other contestants react with lines like, "Tu darpok hai, khelne aayi hai, kya karne aayi hai, she's a loser." The visual shots of torture at Skull Island of contestants being chained up and locked up in cells is so dramatic and fake that it generally comes across as a scripted show in most parts. While Raghu presumably was reinventing himself post-Roadies, he has poetic insults like, "You're even more stupid than you look." Honestly, he just channelized his Roadies audition avatar here as well. There is no reinvention. You will hear insults galore in this show. The most problematic thing about the show is that whenever a dude disagrees with another dude, they start insulting each other with terminology like "Abe fattu, namard, oh, ek number ka chakka aadmi hai ye." One girl, while insulting her partner, says, "Ye muh se nahi bolta." Quickly transitioning to say no hard feelings, by the way. While other chemistry tests include a Kama Sutra race where contestants perform various sexual poses, and another one including contestants' necks being tied with shock collars, buzzed at the convenience of the host, one of which is because, as Raghu says, tera attitude theek nahi hai. It was when a girl said, "Main kisi boy ko 5 din se zyada nahi rakhti, more like a toy friend," where I totally gave up. The content in this attempt for the creators to reinvent themselves is absolutely farcical. It's the same product of brainless and problematic reality television. The show contributes absolutely nothing and actually, according to me, is harmful for an impressionable audience that may believe these are the desirable qualities to get selected for reality shows. I have also noticed there is a sharp shift in the viewer base that is actually calling out the reality shows like Roadies and the judges that assume the responsibility of being flag bearers of social justice to ridicule the contestants for their personal choices. While it's important to call out problematic behavior, the show has slowly transitioned to make a meal out of every situation, something that is becoming strikingly obvious to even viewers. Skulls and Roses is not some revolutionary step of representation or changing the perception of reality television in India. It is the same product marketed in a different way and sadly given even a larger platform through Amazon Prime Video. While many may feel this to be simply a guilty pleasure, the excessive ramification it has for the aspirational youth to feel that this is their route to become an anomaly like Bani, Ranvijay or Ayushman creates for years of cyclical toxic content, and honestly, at what fucking cost? And that was a video, guys. Write down in the comments below whether you have some video ideas for our channel. Please don't forget to follow me on Instagram. The handle's right in front of you. Follow me at JammyPants4. Also, please support us by smashing the like button and subscribing to our channel for weekly content ahead. Thank you for watching.